JT Murphy, a different Murphy, in the comments, offering up, do you think Ting Bunger can lead the Lake Erie Mudbutts to the big ball dance again next solstice? The thing about the Lake Erie Mudbutts is they are good in the preseason. They are exceptional preseason players. But when the big lights come on, and when the price is right, the Mudbutts just don't seem to have what it takes. Mark Bush offering, I love Ting Bunger, probably the best asset to the Mudbutts in a long time. Yes, I see them having an epic solstice. Again, you've got Mudbutts fans, and you don't. I personally don't see them taking it to the solstice. A lot of people call into the show and say that I just have a vendetta against the Mudbutts, and I don't. A lot of people saying that I just have an active bias against the Mudbutts, and I assure you I don't. You cannot shortchange Mark Garbachaw, though. The Atlanta Speedsters with Garbachaw on their team now. And we didn't know this a year ago. This guy's a rookie. But Mark Garbachaw is going to lead that team to the winter solstice. And I think that guy has got more talent in his pinky finger than the whole of the Mudbutts. Hello, caller. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Calling from Los Angeles, California. My name's Shirley.
Shirley, so good to hear from you. What would you like to talk about?
I want to talk about the Mudbutt.
Everybody wants to talk about the Mudbutts. What do you have to say?
Can't get enough. Can't get enough of the Mudbutts. I think they're going all the way. Mudbutts, 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 Mudbutts.
This is what people do. They call into my radio show, and they just chant Mudbutts and hang up. They hung up. If you all just call in and chant Mudbutts, that's not going to make for good radio. Hello, caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Mudbutts, Mudbutts, Mudbutts.
I told you guys. I can't have you calling up and just chanting Mudbutts and hanging up. That's right, Aaron. Mudbutts fans stay trashy. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Mudbutts,
Again with the Mudbutts chants.
Mudbutts.
And here you go, having to interrupt my broadcast just to chant Mudbutts over and over again. I'm fuming. I will ask you politely once again to not call in just to chant Mudbutts. JT offering up, Mudbutt fans are ravenous today. The people have spoken and they love the butts.
So I'm curious what you think about that new book coming out about the Mudbutt.
Listen, so there's that unauthorized look behind the Mudbutts. I don't think that was worth the trees it was printed on. It's more so the community around the Mudbutts that I think does a disservice to some great players that do end up on that team. JT Murphy offering a lot of controversy around the Butts. I'd say it's split right down the middle.
Wow.
That's the kind of man that Titus O'Crowder is. And he
Absolute legend.
And
Absolute legend.
He did this without any publicity, without any mention of it within the papers, and I bet a lot of you didn't hear it until today. But that's the man that I'll remember. JT, any final thoughts? We're going into our last minute of the big game broadcast.
I'm just a big fan. Thanks for taking my call. I think what you're doing for Magic Wheelchair is great. And I'm happy to, just hear a little bit of Mudbutt talk as well.
Sorry, JT, the call is cut out. I'm so sorry. Our big game broadcast is out.